Well, the GOP majority in both the Senate and House are absolutely on board with delivering on the promises we made to the American people. I think the election we had in November, there was a mandate, a clear mandate from the American people. We have been given, President Trump won the popular vote. He won all 7 of the swing states. We have 53 Republican senators. We have a Republican House, and now we've got to deliver. Now, what do we have to deliver on? Number one, we must secure the border, and we're going to do that. You're going to see President Trump on January 20th end catch and release. We're going to enforce the laws, and you're going to see Congress come and appropriate real money to build the wall, to hire Border Patrol agents, to hire ICE agents, to get rid of the criminals, the murderers, the rapists, the gang members, the terrorists that have been allowed to flow into this country for the last 4 years. That we've got to deliver on. We've also got to deliver on extending the Trump tax cuts that expire this year. If Congress doesn't act, there's a $4 trillion tax increase that is automatic. We're not going to let that happen. And we've got to deliver on ending the war on energy and oil and gas so that we lower inflation, we lower the cost of living for working Americans. All of those we're going to get done. And whether it happens in one bill or two is a strategic question. I think the better way to do it is in 2 different bills, and I think the Senate and the House have a different view on that. But whichever way we do it, we've got to get the result. We've got to deliver on our promises.
Meantime, Senator, Joe Biden adding a lot of insult to a lot of injury, announcing a one-time payment of $770 for the victims of the California wildfires. Listen.
We're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out.
Senator, it's North Carolina, Florida all over again. Americans are rightly angry. Hundreds of billions of dollars flowing overseas to other nations and overseas wars, and our people are last. What is the Senate going to do to change the America last culture inside the government?
Well, the good news is Joe Biden is leaving in just a few days. Kamala Harris and the rest of this radical cabinet, they are leaving. And it couldn't happen too soon because it has been, you're exactly right. It's an America last agenda where they have not made a priority standing with Americans, standing with people in harm's way, standing with people who are suffering. And I got to tell you, you look at these California wildfires. I mean, they are horrific. It is unspeakably horrible what is happening. And one of the most frustrating aspects is a huge cause of these fires, and they're being as bad as they are, has been left-wing policies that have exacerbated. As you know, Chris, I do a podcast every week called Verdict with Ted Cruz. I did an entire podcast breaking down the policies. Number one, the forest management policies that come from the state of California and also come from the Biden administration that make it very, very difficult to clean out the underbrush, to remove the kindling, to engage in mitigation strategies to reduce the risk of wildfires. Number two, the policies concerning water. The state of California is dumping millions of gallons of fresh water into the Pacific Ocean, all to try to save some little fish, a smelt fish, and it is hammering California farmers. And the result during these fires is you had empty reservoirs, empty fire hydrants, and you didn't have the water to fight these fires. And then number three, the woke policies of the left that prioritize every other political agenda except doing their jobs. And you saw the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, slash the budget of the fire department in Los Angeles. You saw Gavin Newsom at a state level slash the budget for firefighting. That is infuriating. When they did so, both Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom were told, if you do this, it will limit significantly our ability to fight wildfires. They didn't care. They funded, the city of Los Angeles funded a gay men's choir and a transgender cafe, but they didn't have the money to fund firefighters to actually stop these fires. Much of this was preventable, and it's infuriating, the policies that have made it